Okay, hi guys, Mitch here from MJB Seminars, where you liberate, empower and inspire yourself to be the greatest example of your creation. Now I want to bust open a little bit of a fable here today, and I want to talk a little bit about the fable of, seeing is believing. And in actual fact, how we create a reality is that we actually broadcast into the atmosphere a frequency that collaborates and collides together and brings about what we're feeling about. And this is basically how we transform and create the reality that we actually want. The unfortunate thing with fables is that they tend to resonate over time, and we come from sometimes a lineage of fables that are just completely not true. And when it comes to the fable of, it's seeing is believing, it's actually completely the wrong way around. The way in which it's meant to happen and the way in which we truly create a reality is to actually feel it before we see it. Is to allow ourselves to resonate with the feeling of creating something in our lives that we really want, and then attaching it to how we actually see that roll out. A fantastic example of this is just lately. I'm a big fan of Conor McGregor. First off, because he's Irish. Secondly, because he really is after revolutionising the MMA, and also because his sister gave him a copy of The Secret many years ago, and he has gone and researched the information and implemented some of the strategies, and he's a great example of someone creating the reality that they want. I watched an interview a couple of weeks ago with him after he won the second belt, and he was asked, so Conor, how do you feel about this moment? And he said, I'm really grateful to be here, but he said, this is familiar to me. And it was, when I heard that, I was like, my God, what a great statement. He said, I've been here before. He said, this is not new to me. He said, I'm very grateful that I've got the belt, but he said, this is not new to me. I have been in this space, sitting in this room, having this interview, which is basically what he's saying, over and over and over and over and over again in my mind, to the point where having the experience was secondary to actually feeling the emotion of being there in the first place. Now, this is an important point, and it's important for you to understand, because what you need to understand is that when you're creating your reality, the last thing to experience your dreams and aspirations is your senses. So understand what that means. The last thing to experience your dreams and aspirations is your senses. Your senses should be the last thing that picks up on the event. So when you embody gratitude as if an event has occurred for you, remember, it's only a matter of time before the event finds you. But the distance between where you are and the event finding you is dependent on the amount of times or how frequently you broadcast the frequency that is bringing about what you're feeling about. So I'll say it again, just so we can tie it all in. First thing is, the last thing that should experience the event is your senses. So you don't want to be living in the land of, okay, when I see it, then I'll feel a certain way. When the boyfriend turns up, then I'll allow myself to feel loved. When I see the new car in my yard, then I'll allow myself to feel grateful. In actual fact, it happens the other way around. You've got to allow yourself to feel grateful in your heart, attach that gratitude to a visualization of what your life looks like, whatever you have put into your reticular activating system. Attach that feeling of gratitude as if the car's already turned up, the boyfriend is already in your life. Attach that to what it rolls out like, and broadcast that frequency of gratitude as frequently as possible, so that the universe, which is collaborating and colliding particles together to bring about the event that you want, so that the universe does exactly this, brings about that event, and then the last thing to register with the event is your feelings. So I want you to think about it this week. What is the one thing you want to create in your life? And allow yourself to feel those levels of gratitude as if that event has already occurred for you. Have a great week, guys. Remember, love is all there is. Love is the only way. Live your life inspired. If you know some eagle that just needs a little bit of a push and could do it hearing this, give them a little nudge. Flick this onto them on Facebook or share it on Twitter. Thank you. Bye-bye.